Now I reckon that Motorola's Edge Fusion smartphones are some of the most underrated affordable blowers around. Unlike most modern handsets, they're skinny, they're light, they're curvy. You've got a stock-ish Android vibe with plenty of Moto bonuses chucked on top, which are actually pretty decent. Solid battery life, respectable enough camera tech, and a price that isn't actually shockingly horrendous. You should still have a few quid left for a shandy down the local. Now I've been testing out Motorola's latest, the Edge 70 Fusion, so let's have a good hard squint. The gaming chops, the camera tech, all the good stuff. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So no real surprises as far as the design goes. The Motorola Edge 70 Fusion is delightfully skinny as usual and supremely lightweight versus most modern mobiles at just 177 grams. Certainly one of the slimmest smartphones out there, comparable to the iPhone Air, except also a fraction of the price. And of course, as usual, as this is a more affordable smartphone, you do just have a basic plastic frame, and then around back you've got a textured rear, not quite as soft touch as some of Motorola's efforts, but it does add a lovely bit of grip. And factor in that curvy finish, which is all too rare these days, and the hand feel here is frankly tremendous. You can grab the Edge 70 Fusion in a variety of colours and bright bold efforts. As you can see, I've got the special edition World Cup model. I guess to celebrate the fact we've got an excuse to stay up drinking literally all night long. And boasts quite a funky bit of pattern action, and of course the obligatory FIFA logo down below. And got to admit, I do adore that bit of gold trim surrounding the camera bump as well. So got to say, I do really like it. The only way I would improve this is by removing the FIFA logo and just slapping a picture of Ronaldo's sad face on there instead. Yeah, England winning their opening match was pretty damn good, but sad Ronaldo, certainly the highlight so far for me. Now once again, there's bugger all screen protector slapped on that almighty display. It is a good bit of Gorilla Glass 7i, which is reasonably scratch resistant. But I would say if you want it in perfect nick for all time, definitely slap on a screen protector just to be sure. And the Edge 70 Fusion has passed a whole load of military standard A10H tests just to prove it's tougher than Jason Momoa wearing a steel jockstrap. Can handle extreme temperatures, knocks, vibrations, whatever you're into. And it's also IP68 and IP69 dust, water and spurt resistant, so pretty rare at this sort of price point, can handle all kinds of punishment. Now when you want to let yourself in, well, it's your basic in-display optical fingerprint sensor housed right near the bottom. So it is a wee bit of a stretch, but it's pretty good as usual, fast to react as you can see there, certainly for an optical fingerprint sensor, and only really bulks up if your hands are particularly clammy or a wee bit oily from all the obligatory World Cup scampy fries snackage. And it's your usual stockish Android vibe, which I certainly appreciate. Feels quite light compared with a lot of the launches you get chucked on these phones. Although unfortunately Motorola still does hoy on an awful lot of crapware. All the usual bollocks, booking.com, LinkedIn, Facebook, you got a bit of Pinterest. So you need to spend a wee while just getting all that to bugger right off. But in amongst all the bollocks, you will also find some dedicated Motorola apps which are actually worth checking out. So for instance, you've got the likes of Moto Secure, which can just scan your phone for threats, and also add some cracking bonus features like a wee bit of pin pad scramble. And if you find yourself sick of, the world in general, highly recommend Moto Unplugged, which you can use to banish social media, email apps, all the rest of it, just leave you with a handful of customized efforts. So you can actually enjoy using your smartphone and just say piss off to everything else. And Motorola also allows you to personalize your smartphone a bit more, although there's still absolutely bugger all always on display option here. All you've got is the sleep display, which you actually have to poke and prod the Moto Edge 70 Fusion to get this to show up. Although I guess Motorola does kind of make up for it with some excellent gesture support, including my karate chop favourite. And Motorola fully slurping that AI Kool-Aid. So on top of the usual Gemini shenanigans, etc., you've got bonus AI assistance here, Copilot, and a bit of Perplexity, as well as Motorola's own AI shenanigans. Although somewhat mercifully, Motorola hasn't shoved a dedicated AI button anywhere on this thing. And if you want to know more about Motorola AI, I have done a full dedicated video on the subject, so I'm not going to bang on about it anymore in this one. So I really like the overall software experience as usual with these Moto blowers, but just remember the Motorola are not the best when it comes to software support, so you're guaranteed 3 OS updates here and 4 years of security patching. I certainly wouldn't expect those security patches to trickle in every month, shall we say, and if you are looking for a smartphone to last you for longer than 3 to 4 years, well, you know, you've got the likes of the Google Pixel 10a, and quite a few other options out there which do enjoy longer support. If you yank out the old SIM tray, you'll see you've only got space in there for a single SIM card. There's no space for a second SIM or indeed a micro SD memory card to expand the 256 gigs of storage. But hey, that's a generous amount of storage for this sort of price point, so no worries there. And you've got full eSIM support as well if you do need to slap some extra SIMs on here. Now, one of the differences for the Edge 70 Fusion is the larger 6.78-inch Extreme AMOLED display that Motorola has slapped on the front end. And it's an absolute cracker at this price point. Got a 2772 by 1272 pixel resolution, a slight boost to cope with the size increase. The visuals certainly still nice and crispy, as well as pleasingly poppy. I've got it on the vivid display setting, just to really give those colours a bit of lift. There's bug roll support for HDR streaming in the likes of Netflix, but I can't really complain about the contrast. It's to get nice inky blacks and reasonably crisp whites. And that display gets pretty dim for late night viewing, and if you jack up the brightness, well, it'll comfortably cope with any kind of irritating glare, especially if you're outdoors on a sunny day. No worries there. And you've got some basic eye comfort shenanigans, bit of nightlight action which just filters blue light for a more comfortable, easier on the eye experience, and a bit of flicker prevention as well if you are quite sensitive to OLED displays. And the refresh rate, of course, nice and smooth, 120Hz most of the time, but it can be boosted to 144Hz if you're playing a supported game. But of course, when it comes to curved displays, well, a lot of people out there I know react to these the way that Gordon Ramsay reacts to pretty much anything. But thankfully here on the Edge 70 Fusion, I've had very little jip from it. There's been a couple of instances where I've accidentally loaded an app just by adjusting my grip or something, but we're talking like 3 or 4 times this entire week. It's certainly an improvement over last year's Edge 60 Fusion. I've had no bother at all from the camera app or anything. That's all worked absolutely fine. And it's a stereo speaker setup again here on the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion. Reasonably powerful, quite loud on that top volume, of course slightly imbalanced. That earpiece speaker, as usual, not quite as beefy as the bottom speaker, but does the job nicely for a bit of your Netflix, your Crunchyroll, whatever. And bugger all bother with a bit of Bluetooth streaming as well for your music action, got a bit of LDAC support, all the usual stuff. But one area where Motorola has saved a few pennies is the brains for this thing, because the Moto Edge 70 Fusion is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. And this was launched back in 2024, just looked that up, I don't know this shit off the top of my head. But it was the chipset in charge of quite a few mid-range mobiles last year, the likes of the Nothing Phone 3A, Xiaomi's Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus. Thankfully, the everyday running has generally been fine. You will see the occasional little judder in the UI here and there, and when messing around with your apps as well. Although the app where I certainly saw the most slowdown was definitely the camera app. Occasionally this can take a wee while switching between the lenses and the different camera modes. Of course, now that I'm actually demonstrating it, it's going to be absolutely perfectly behaved, naturally. But you know, for a mid-range smartphone around this sort of price point, it ain't too shonky at all. If you are a mobile gaming fan, we've got Motorola's usual dedicated gaming assistant here. You can drag out at any time to boost the performance, put in battery saver mode, turn on good old do not disturb, all that good stuff. And I did install the absolute Goliath that is Wuthering Waves, or 50 whatever gigs of it. I actually found that this was impressively playable here on the Edge 70 Fusion. I just left it on the default medium-ish graphics settings, but I did switch it up to 60 frames per second. And while it never got close to that 60 FPS level during gameplay, mostly sort of hovered around the 30s and the low 40s, it was certainly a decent enough frame rate to comfortably enjoy. That curved screen was still pleasingly responsive and everything as well, so not the ideal way to play Wuthering Waves. Don't expect it to be buttery smooth, but at least it's actually feasible. And of course the Edge 70 Fusion also excellent for your more simple fare, like good old Toon Blast, one of the pre-installed bangers. My whiskey-soaked brain can just about cope with this. Now, stuffed inside of this slender chassis on my review Motorola Edge 70 Fusion is a 5200 mAh battery, which is a respectable enough size. bigger than the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra's battery, for instance. Although compared with some rivals from the likes of Honor and Poco and Oppo, you'll find far bigger batteries stuffed into them. But Motorola is interestingly offering the Edge 70 Fusion with a 7,000 mAh battery. That 7,000 mAh model is available here in the UK, but if you go for that, you do sacrifice some of the slender design, the lovely lightweight finish. So it's a bit of a dilemma really. It'd be a really tough choice for me because I adore that slim and light design, but to have a bit of extra battery, always handy. You know, oh, it's too tough. You know, it's like when I walk into Greg's Dog or steak bake or sausage roll. Although in that case, I usually say fucking get both. But to be fair, even in this smaller capacity model, I comfortably get a full day of use from a single charge, and that's with hours and hours of screen on time, at least 8 hours a day. Plenty of mixed use, you know, got a bit of video calling, plenty of video streaming, audio streaming on Spotify and Audible. And in fact, if you take it easy on this thing, just use it for messaging and simple basic stuff, you'll easily get a full weekend out of a single charge. And even on good old Wuthering Waves, again, on that default casual graphics setting, running at 60 frames per second, I managed to squeeze about 5 hours of action from a single charge, which is pretty damn good. And hey, if you need to juice it up in a jiffy, well, no worries there. You got 68 watt wired charging support, so you get full charge in approximately an hour. But once again, bugger all support for the old wireless charging. And so my lovelies, let's round up this lovely wee Motorola Edge 70 Fusion review with a good old squint at their camera tech. And while it may look like Motorola's slapped loads of lenses on that back end, you've actually only got 2 that are usable. You got a 50 meg Sony Lightyear 710 shooter for your main snapper. You've also got yourself a basic 13 megapixel ultra wide angle shooter. And as usual, you've got a variety of filters you can play around with here. It's on natural by default, but you can change it to a signature style filter, which you actually create using other photos that you've taken or just downloaded. And there's also a vivid option as well if you fancy slightly more poppy in your face colors. And I was quite happy just leaving the Edge 70 Fusion in natural mode. So you get fairly realistic looking tones, though there's a fair bit of processing going on. So similar to an iPhone or a Samsung blower, those darker areas in HDR moments are generally brightened up a bit. Although in quite strong contrast, the Edge 70 Fusion does struggle. But portrait shots generally come out really nicely with fairly natural looking skin tones again. And quite eye-pleasing bit of bokeh action as well. And for a mid-range mobile, certainly did pretty well when shooting subjects that won't keep still, like this fluffy wee git here. You won't usually see much blur invading your shot unless the lighting is rather cack. But speaking of which, my more ambient photos and night shots actually came out pretty well too, not much grain creeping in there. So certainly pretty decent for your everyday photography shenanigans, and you do have a dedicated pro mode if you fancy it, where you can shoot raw images to edit on the fly, mess around with like the white balance, ISO levels, etc. And the Edge 70 Fusion also okay for, you know, a bit of home movie action every now and then. You can record up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, not 60 FPS though. As you can see, it does knock it down to full HD resolution if you boost the frame rate. And again, the stabilization's respectable, the focus normally dependable too. And the audio capture's alright as long as it's not gusty, there's not too much background noise going on, otherwise things can get a bit muffled. And then finally, up front on the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion, you got yourself a 32 megapixel selfie camera. And this does, again, a respectable enough job for just a simple bit of vlogging or what have you. You could also do video chatting with this, and it's a pretty good job of capturing your mug. Even with fairly strong contrast, it's not too perturbed, and the audio pickup, again, is fine as long as you're not outdoors on a gusty day. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a tasty wee nutshell is what I reckon of the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion. And at this more affordable end of the mid-range market, I've got to say it's a bit of a banger. One of the highlights for me is certainly that slim, lightweight design, which helps it to stand out from rivals if you're not put off by the old curvy screen shenanigans, of course. And unlike the likes of the iPhone Air, no sacrifices to the battery life here. You've still got pretty respectable bit of camera tech, and the performance is good enough for your everyday shenanigans, occasional wee bit of slowdown here and there, but can actually cope with a bit of Wuthering Waves, which I've got to admit I was not expecting. Usual lovely stock-ish Android vibes as well, but of course, as always, Motorola not the best when it comes to software support. Well, that's what this tired old twat reckons anyway. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion down below. Check out my roundup and my rankings of the best mid-range smartphones right now. That's live here on the Techsperts. And please do plug subscribe, ding that notifications bell, all the usual YouTube bollocks, and have yourselves a ruddy wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everybody.